And so he came up with these, which were good price, and for what I do, it works very well. Right? So I didn't need all those bells and whistles, as you knew. You'll probably talk more about that later, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing was, what we kind of said was, well, let's start with this and see if it does the job, and then, you know, we can always go from there, because we didn't even know for sure if that was going to be the best fit. So the thing he had picked out was, you know, this company that makes these tablets, they make tablets for professional digital illustrators, and that's, you know, kind of the level he had selected. So I was like, well, let's start with this, and then we can always like go up from there. I'm sure it'll be useful in some other way. So yeah, we ended up with the bamboo style tablets.
It's nice. It's nice. All right, so that so then once we got all that set up, here's how my summer went. I would go teach my 142 class in the morning at 8. I would come back after class, and I would make 2 or 3 videos the rest of the day and then go home. That's pretty much how my summer went. So then the next thought was, all right, so now what am I going to do? I'm not making some videos, but whip-de-doo. And that's when I started rethinking about my 141 class, how I was going to do my 141 class in the fall, which is what we're currently in. And so I came up with the plan of, okay, here's what I want them to do. I want them to watch some videos, just like what happened in calculus. I want them to watch some videos, come to class the next day, and we can answer any questions that might come up from watching the videos, or maybe I can give a little mini lecture on a topic that was not discussed on the videos, or we need to have a mini lecture on a topic that was discussed on videos because, well, you just need to have that extra conversation type thing. And then the majority of the time, do problems, solve problems, talk to each other, stuff like that. That was kind of the plan. And no, I did not get all the videos done by the time quarter started. I was only like 3 weeks ahead, I think. And there was a lot of videos for only being 3 weeks ahead. And now I'm 3 days ahead. So I'm hoping to make it to the end of the quarter. I should make it, it'll be all right. So the first day I showed up and told them, the class, I introduced, I actually introduced 2 things. I introduced the angel thing, how we're going to run through angel, and introduced them, showed them into the angel situation here. So this is the pre-calc class. And under lessons is where I told them that they would go to find the videos. Right? And you could say just go down chapter 1 or whatever. And I've got them put in by sections. Right? So, and see, this is what I'm talking about where I embedded the videos. Is this thing scrolling? Okay, so there's a bunch of videos. That's the only one of me on camera, by the way. And whatnot. And so, as it says up there at the top, I'm just telling them what to do. I only do that for the first couple of weeks, I think. And the following videos, what you need to watch, and when you come to class, blah, 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 bring the web work stuff, whatever, and go from there. And I've got this discussion sheet that they could download. And I stopped posting those up mainly because I didn't get them done in time. And I'll talk about those in just a second, how that works into play. So, they were to come to class, and they could bring their web work assignment, is really what I wanted them to do. Their web work assignments after watching the videos, and then every once in a while, or whatnot, I would give it what's called discussion, what I'm calling a discussion sheet. And what that is essentially what I did in the calculus thing, where watch a video, and then the sheet's going to have conceptual questions and some problems, stuff to work on, but you had to watch the video to actually answer those questions on the sheet. And I made those up, right? The sheets themselves up. And if I was able to get them up, made in time, I would post them up on the Angel site, and it just said, you guys download them and bring them in. But it turned out after the first few, I could never keep up, and so I was just bringing them in to the class. So in the future, at least they'll be able to just download them. They were all, I think I heard things like, so what are we doing in class? What's going on? And my colleagues would hear students outside in the hall, my students outside in the hall going, we can work on anything in class? It was really strange. It was a learning curve for all of us. None of us really knew exactly what was going on, myself included. But we all have figured it out since then, which is quite nice. So I showed them the web work thing, how to log into that, and then Angel, and then told them how they were going to do all that. And let me make sure we get that to where I'm at here. All right, so because we were going to spend, I told them we were going to spend a lot of time solving problems in class, so I highly encourage you to bring your laptops to class, your iPhones, your iTouches, whatever utility you want to use to access the internet, the Wi-Fi thing. Bring those in, or you could just print off the web work assignment and bring it in on paper. That's fine too, but didn't really matter. Just get the problems there so you can so we can all work on them. And so that's actually turned in quite well. I have to say I was quite surprised. My class is very loud. My class is never quiet. And in fact, I was talking with some students today about it. That on test day it seems eerie because it's so quiet, and the rest of the time it's really, it's loud before I even get there, right? Because they're already working and talking. So go ahead, Andrew.
So how does the textbook fit into all this?
That's a great question. Right now, I've had a list of suggested textbook problems for as long as we've used the textbook, right? And so I've made that available to them, and they're more than welcome to do those as well. And some of them do. They practice the problems out of the book. They practice the web work problems as well. And they can bring those and work on those in class too. I've had students do that as well. But I'm jumping ahead, which is okay. My goal, long-term goal, would be to get rid of the textbook.
So you're just using the textbook as a source of practice problems.
I've always
and
used
then
it,
you're using the web work stuff as that's the stuff that they're eventually turning in. Occasionally, on occasion they turn in web work.
Well, yeah, because it's graded and all that stuff. Yeah, exactly. But I've always used textbooks that way. I've always said I just need a textbook because it's got problems in it. I don't need it for anything else. And since web work came along, I can now say, well, that may not be true anymore. Right? And so I'm still working on how to figure that out. Right. So thank you, Tom, for introducing us to the web work anyway.
Yeah, thanks.
Me anyway.
Thanks for pushing the curve.
You'll enjoy the intro.
It's good for you.
What I kind of think the way it happened now is I've reversed the way that I did the class before. Because before it was, we'd come to class, I'd sit there, I would babble with whatever needed to be babbled about, and they would take notes. We know how that can go. And then they would leave, and they would go to do practice. They would go practice the problems there, usually on their own at home, usually, right? And with mixed results, right? So what I've done is literally switch that around. So now what they do at home alone is they watch the videos and take notes on the videos. And then when they get to class, they can start working on problems, and they've got people there to talk to. And that was a new thing, I think, for everybody in the class. Not just me, but them as well. And I kind of view it as that puts a lot more responsibility on them, because it's their choice if they want to watch the video or not. I mean, I don't really care if they watch it. It's there if they want to see it. It might be beneficial. And early on, before the first exam, because some things happen after the first exam I'll talk about in a minute. But before the first exam, I would walk around and I would say things like, somebody would ask me a question, and I would say things like, "Did you watch the video?" And they'd go, "No." And I go, "I was answering the video." And I would walk away. And after the first exam, I don't think I've said that again. I think they figured out pretty fast that that's very useful, so that's been actually kind of nice. So the responsibility is, I put more on, and from my viewpoint, I think I put more responsibility on them for what they want to get out of the class, because they have to be a little more active in what they're learning. So results that have happened up to this point is that they've learned very quickly that they need to watch the videos, as I mentioned. If they didn't already know the material, otherwise they were going to be lost in class and not be able to do anything. And so, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was thinking something else because I'm jumping ahead. They also learned that they need to take notes. I think early on they weren't taking notes; they were just watching the videos.